what's going on, everyone? It's Chris, and welcome to the grand finale of ManicManiac Predicts the 2016 NFL season. And the season is in the books. Wow, what a journey we have gone on this year. It definitely was not the best season. Certainly, I think the NFL needs to kind of examine its product a little bit and see what people enjoy and what people don't enjoy necessarily. I think they're going to take a look at commercials, maybe reducing commercials to maybe more in-game commercials, or like keeping the game up as they're preparing for the next drive and showing commercials, like things like that, so that way people can stay engaged in the programming. I think you're going to see a lot more. But, looking at what happened this year, regardless of what happened for the majority of the playoffs, this was a lot of the games this year were very close, but there was still a lot of sloppy football, and something needs to give. They have to either stop throwing as many flags. I don't know how you do that. I mean, there's so many other penalties that need to be adjusted. I would start by getting rid of the easiest of them all, which is the celebration penalties. Just get rid of them. There's no need for it. But there's a lot of ways that we can examine how to make the league better. I hope that the past two seasons haven't been that great, but there have been some great games. I don't want to undermine that. There's been some fantastic games, but it's not necessarily a great season. Speaking of great games, our kickoff topic, what else? Super Bowl 51. We are now 5 days removed from the Super Bowl. And at least when you guys are seeing it, I'm only a day removed. I'm filming this on Monday. And I feel like I would film this sooner rather than later, because I don't know if there's going to be anything breaking later this week. If there's any big news that happens. So, I just might as well get it out of the way. This, I mean, what can you say about this game, man? It was 21-3 when we went to the halftime show. And, I mean, for me, as someone who loves seeing an underdog do well against a historically great team, it wasn't the best because it was a blowout, but, I enjoyed it. It was fun seeing the underdog give the team that has been always so dominant a beating for a lifetime. But then after after the half, we had a few drives go dead, and then all of a sudden, the Falcons just make a drive down the field again, score a touchdown, and it's now 28-3. And at this point, I don't know how many people were just like, yeah, they're over. It's done. It's over. Me personally, I did not think it was over. I felt like it was getting really close. I was like, yeah, I think any extra points now that they can add to the board right now, I think that they're good. It would, and they would have been. If they got 3 more points, if they got 6 more points, 7 more points, 8 more points, it doesn't matter. Any more points that they can add on to that score, it's good. They have it in the books. The Falcons win the Super Bowl. But you don't count out Tom Brady, and you don't count out the Patriots team that has always put up a fight. It was going to just shock me if the Patriots didn't put in a last-ditch effort to try to catch up, try to get back in the game, and I was blown away by what I witnessed. What the Patriots did was just completely woke up. The defense was high and flying. The offense was unstoppable. The Falcons' defense was tired. The Falcons' offense couldn't get it going. They were turning the ball over. They got too many penalties that killed them. There were some play calls that were questionable. Nothing was going the Falcons' way in like the last quarter. It was 3 quarters of dominance, and then it all just dropped in the fourth quarter. And we got to a point where it was 28-20, and the Patriots were marching down the field, and all of a sudden, you think it's over. You think, that they're gonna do it. They're gonna end up scoring this touchdown, but how are they gonna do it? Brady throws the ball, and it's like a bunch of defenders and Julian Edelman. The ball comes down, looks like it's about to hit the ground, and it looks like it does. I was in the living room with my parents, my mom and my dad were both saying, oh, it was incomplete. And I'm just like, no, it wasn't. Look at it. It did not touch the ground, and it was amazing. What my dad was arguing was that the ball hit the ground a little bit after he gained control, so he thought that would count as incompletion. But that's just not the rules. Once you gain control of the possession, it's a catch. So that was kind of a confusing part, but it was an amazing part. How did Julian Edelman do that? And kudos to the Fox broadcast. They had that angle immediately, and you just saw how that ball was hovering, just saying to Edelman, "Just catch me. I'm here. I'm here, buddy. I'm levitating. Don't worry." I am here for you. You're saving grace. You'll be a hero. Now, and he caught it, and it was amazing. And it was at that point I was just like, it's over. The Patriots won. They get down even further. The Danny Amendola throw, and it's James White in for the touchdown. Danny Amendola in for the 2-point conversion, tied game. Falcons have a chance to march down, get a field goal, end the misery, end it. They could not do it. Had no timeouts at all for that drive, and it was just a mess. They had to punt it, and it led to overtime. Now, this is where the topic of conversation is probably going to be this offseason, and that is, what can we just do something about these overtime rules? Because I've argued this before. I argued this earlier this season when we had the Cardinals, or maybe it wasn't the Cardinals Seahawks, but it was one of the games that happened where a team won the coin toss, chose to take the ball, and they marched all the way down and got the touchdown. In fact, you know what it was? Week fucking 1, I think that was. The Chiefs and Chargers, when the Chiefs just marched down, scored, and that was it. That, to me, no one's gonna even talk about that Chiefs-Chargers game, because that was an amazing, amazing comeback by the Chiefs. And now it's gonna be completely and utterly forgotten, because that was week 1 and this was the Super Bowl. But anyways, regardless of that Chiefs game made me say, look, I get that people want to put an emphasis on defense, but if you truly feel like your offense is your strength and you don't get a chance to put your offense out on the field, it sucks. It sucks, and to only have that one chance to like, you basically, the game is gonna be won on coin flip at that point. Because once it was heads, and the Patriots said we're gonna take the ball, I was just like, the Falcons are gassed on defense. I don't know how they're gonna stop them. And lo and behold, that's what happened. And I kind of wish we did get to see the Falcons offense, even though I think, based on how the production was for the Falcons during that whole ending, I don't think they would have still won the game. But I think it would have at least made it interesting and a little bit more exciting. Even though it was a thrilling finish, I think it would have added a little bit more if it was the Falcons on the final play trying to maybe like a Hail Mary or something to get the win, and they fail it. And I feel like that would be just as exciting of an ending as we had here. But now you can't go wrong with the first ever overtime game in Super Bowl history, the biggest comeback in Super Bowl history, and probably the greatest Super Bowl that we have ever witnessed to this point. I was so bitter. I'll be honest. I was so salty because I just don't like the Patriots, but I just don't like the Patriots as just them being dominant. It's a jealousy thing with me. I love Tom Brady. I love Bill Belichick. I love what they have done with this team, and they have proven once and for all, no more debate, they are the best two to ever do it at their positions. Tom Brady is the best quarterback ever, and Bill Belichick is the best coach ever in the history of the NFL. And I'm sure many people will argue the best to ever do it in any sport ever. I wouldn't say you're wrong. I wouldn't say that. It's unbelievable what they have done, and this really was just the cherry on top. Beautiful game, and beautiful finish. And I looking more and more talking about this game, more and more watching highlights in this game. I'm more and more excited about it, and I'm so happy that we got the Super Bowl that we did, and the playoff game that we deserved after so long. I was waiting for the overtime playoff game, and we got it. Man, it felt good to have it. Man, I just this team that team is amazing. I feel terrible for the Falcons, and I think that a lot of people are going to cast blame on Shanahan, which honestly, he's going to San Francisco. I don't think Falcons fans are going to care, but I don't think he deserves a lot of the blame, because he's the reason, or he's at least one of the main reasons why they're there, why they made the Super Bowl. The Falcons fans, I know you want to. The minute that someone does something bad, you kind of want to shit on them, and just be like, no, you stupid, you fucked it up. I don't think that's right to do. I think that you have to give credit to what he did, and you have to respect what he did, because he truly did an amazing job, and hopefully, I'm hoping for the Falcons' sake that they get to keep a lot of what Kyle Shanahan did, or at least hope to keep that offense as dynamic as it is, because it was dynamic as all hell. It was one of the best offenses. They were a few defensive players away from really contending, and I think that they will get their shot. And they were very close. I mean, who expected a 28-3 score? Near the end of the third quarter, before the Patriots got a touchdown, and it was 28-9. Unbelievable, unreal. And who knew that at 28-3, the Falcons it was gonna all go away for the Falcons. It was gonna be all Patriots. Patriots just come back. I was speechless, and I mean, obviously I just talked about it, but in a way, I'm really speechless about it. I am so happy that it ended up at this point, and it helps football. I think you need a villain in football, and I think the Patriots provide a great villain. Or just in any sport. In any sport, you need a villain. It's the Patriots for this one. You have the Warriors for the NBA. I don't know what it is in baseball. Maybe Yankees, right? I guess, even though Yankees haven't done too well in the past few years, we'll still say Yankees are the enemy. NHL. I guess Blackhawks, because hockey's weird, because it does change every year. I don't think we've had a back-to-back champion in a while. We've had champions very close to one another, but I don't think we've had back-to-back. But anyways, Patriots are the ultimate, villain, and people love rooting for this villain, and I don't blame them. My God, 5 Super Bowls for Brady, 5 Super Bowls for Belichick, and 5 Super Bowls for the Patriots. And this is my theory. A few more things, and then we'll move on. My theory for Brady and his longevity and how long he's gonna go, he's playing like he's 25. Like he's playing like he has so many years ahead of him. I don't think he's gonna play for 10 more years, but he may play very well close to it if he continues to play like this, and he continues to stay healthy, and he doesn't get. The last thing I think anyone, obviously probably some people that really, really hate him, but I don't think any people who aren't at that level rather, want to see Brady get injured at all and see his career end on an injury. He deserves to go out on his own. I hope that he. I think it will be great for football if we keep on seeing the Patriots not necessarily win all the Super Bowls, but we see them at least relevant, relevant enough that they get into the playoffs, and then we'll see from there. I can't really root for them, but it's good for them. But if Brady can stay around, I think he will stay around for 5 more years. That's my margin, but I could see him going over. I could see him maybe going under. I could see him doing 5 more years. I think the goal for him will be get to maybe 7 Super Bowls, 7 Super Bowl rings rather. He has been to 7 Super Bowls, 7 Super Bowl rings. That would surpass the Pittsburgh Steelers. He'll be the oldest quarterback to ever win a Super Bowl twice because he'll be 40 and I'll be the oldest quarterback ever then. So he'll be 40 in September. So that's a big deal. He has a legacy. Who knows how long Belichick's gonna coach? The guy's obsessed. He loves football. So what he said today, he said well, now we're like 5 weeks. We're 5 weeks behind all the rest of the teams for 2017. It's a great day, but that's how it sucks. And you're like, are you fucking kidding me? Oh my god. But it's funny as hell, and you want a coach like that. Oh man. All right, I'm sucking up to the Patriots too much. All right. From there, one last thing. I hope I remember. I tweeted out last Friday. We do bold predictions during the playoffs, and me and my friend Go Cubs. And there was a bold prediction that I didn't say on the show, but I said on Twitter, and that was that the winner of the Super Bowl would be down 34-7 and come back to win it 35-34. I wasn't that off. That it was 34-7 would be overcoming a 27-point deficit, and the Patriots overcame a 25-point deficit. So whether or not you want to give me credit or not, that's up to you. But or credit just for predicting it, not that yes, I won the Patriots Super Bowl. That was all me. No, if the I think I deserve credit for that bold prediction though. I think I was off by the numbers, but I predicted a massive comeback in some way. So I'll put the feather in my hat, right? All right, moving on. Let's recap the season now. We got let's recap our predictions for the year, and this is my finish: 175-90. About that's a 66%, 65%. I'm you know what? I'll double check real quick. I'll do the math on it, but I'm almost certain that's about my percentile. That's about how I did. Let's see. Yes, I would say. Well, hold on a second. I have to look at the totals here. 175-90. So that was 265. I feel like that's not accurate. Maybe did I overdo one of these? I don't know. Hold on a second. I have to find, if I do the math on this. 175-90. I'm wasting valuable time here. I could also edit this later. Plus 90 equals 265. 256. Yes. 256 is usually the well, wait a minute, I'm sorry. 16 times 16 is 256. So then 11 would put it at 267. So that's 265, and then 2 games into the tie. Okay, yeah, so that's an accurate total. 175-90, and it's about 65 to 66% correct. Okay, sorry about that. We wanted to make sure we got that right. So that is my record. Kicked last year's record's ass. Okay, just dominated it. It's still not great. I think I could do better than this. I still think I could do better than this. I think I can come back stronger next year. Hopefully. I mean, I don't want to guarantee anything, but that my goal would be to beat 175. And if the two games didn't end in a tie, the Cardinals and the Bengals games, or Cardinals Seahawks and then the Bengals Redskins games, if those didn't end in ties, we could have been sitting at 175-92, 177-90. We'll never know, but I'm hoping to beat this total next year. So, all right, and also playoff records. I fished up 9-2, correctly picked the Patriots to win the Super Bowl, and my good friend Go Cubs, who predicted that the Falcons would make it in Week 9, would make it to the Super Bowl. He picked the Falcons to win it, and unfortunately did not go his way. 7-4, but a valiant effort by my good friend Go Cubs. And hey, if Derek Carr did not go down with that injury, who knows what we'd be saying today if the Raiders somehow... it's very hard for me to think that the Raiders would beat the Patriots, but there's a good chance, I guess. Who knows? But after what we saw last night, I don't think we even want to talk about that. The Patriots are in their way there. All right. Now, last season, I did a whole segment on what was the most predictable team for me and what was the most unpredictable team for me. And I did the math for all of these, and I have 8 teams where I'm going to share with you that where I got the most games right for their teams and the most games wrong for their teams. So we're going to start with the predictable guys, the predictable ones, and we're going to start firstly with the Browns. The Browns, in 16 games, I got 14 correct, which actually should be above the Steelers, so I will change that real quick. Boop, boop. Boop, boop. Which I also got 14 games right, but this time in 18 games. Or no, sorry, 19 games. I'm sorry. So in 19 games, I got 14 right. Well, for the Browns, I got 14 of their games right out of 16. I mean, it's not impressive because the Browns sucked. I think the Steelers is a little bit more impressive. Yeah, I only got 5 wrong out of them. And they were a little topsy-turvy all year long, so yeah, who knows? All right, so there's a tie on top of who were the most predictable teams, but I decided the tiebreaker would be the amount of games that the particular team played, which is how I decided the Steelers over the Browns over the Steelers, because the Browns played less games. So the Patriots are second place with 15 correctly picked games by me in 19 games overall. So that's 15-4. So that's not bad. I believe of all those that I got right, 15, I got the Bills Patriots game wrong. I think I got the Seahawks Patriots game wrong. I got the Arizona Patriots game wrong, and I got the AFC Championship game wrong. And it could have been better. The Patriots could have overtaken who's number one if I did not put myself in a shady situation to pick the Steelers for the AFC Championship game. But live and learn, right? All right, number 1, the Oakland Raiders, sitting at 15 correctly picked games out of 17 games, 15-2 when picking the Raiders, or when picking either for or against the Raiders and getting that prediction right. Essentially, that's where it is. It's not that I'm picking them to win. It's that I predicted the outcome of their game, whether they win or lose correctly. I should probably specify that, because the Browns, clearly, if I picked them to win 14 times, it would be very bad for me. But that they are. That is the most predictable teams for me that I was able, to narrow down and pick. And it was pretty. Again, this is not supposed to be anything spectacular or anything. It's just that the Browns, they are losing teams, so they're easy to pick when they're losing, and the Steelers and Patriots and Raiders were winning, so you're easy to pick them a lot to win. But I'm kind of proud of the Raiders. I was 15 games I got right for their games. That's pretty cool. All right, now let's get to the unpredictable guys. The ones that I just could not nail down. I could not really figure out how or I'm gonna get a game right with them in it. So we're gonna start out with the Indianapolis Colts and the Washington Redskins, who are tied in third place with 7 each. 7 games that I picked correctly with them in it out of the 16 that they each participated in. So not good. 7-9 when picking a Redskins game this year, or when picking the Colts this year, or picking a Colts game this year. This is very confusing dialogue. I apologize. I hope you understand what I'm talking about. So those guys that were in. These guys were in second place. Tied for first though were the Panthers and the Eagles at 6-10. I'm 6-10 for each of these teams when picking a game that they are in. Boom. That's depressing. But I mean, you look at it this way. The Colts, you would think, would be that could finally have a winning season, and they don't. Or you think that they would lose more, but they don't. And you have the Redskins, who I thought would do well this year. They didn't do that well. The Eagles, I thought, would do better down the stretch. They didn't. The Panthers, I thought, would play fantastic because they were the NFC champions last year, and you thought that they would be able to have a pretty good year. Not this time, though. Not this time. All right. So that's your predictable and unpredictable teams for me. And I wish that well, you know what? Actually, I think that I did an okay job. You know, I think last year, when it was the Panthers were my most predictable team and the Broncos were my most unpredictable team. I think Broncos, I only got like 4 right from them, which is kind of crazy considering how many games they played. They played 19 games and I only got like 4 right because I picked against them in like all their playoff games. I'm pretty sure, at least as far as I remember. And I guess it was a weird season for the Broncos because they had Peyton Manning and Brock Osweiler. The two of them, you just didn't know what they would do, so you were like, well, I don't know if they're going to win this game, and then they end up doing so because they have a great defense. So it was a weird year. But this one, I think I did a lot better, and I decided to show all the runner-ups, including the champions, which a co-champion for the undefeated, and the Raiders, the most predictable team of 2016. There you go. So, all right, let's do bold predictions. I did this last year. I would actually be interested in going back and looking at those. I don't think. You know what? Hold on a second. I'm gonna reevaluate those real quick. Okay, hell no. All right, so the Browns. Okay, so these were my predictions last year. Browns would make the playoffs. Okay, really bad. Rams would make the AFC Championship game with RG3 at quarterback. Yeah, really bad. Alright, so then the third bold prediction from last year, not too bad, actually, considering that both of these teams made the playoffs. I said the Chiefs and the Lions would be the Super Bowl matchup. But unfortunately, So, can I do better this year with day after Super Bowl? Or for this, when this is released, 5 days after Super Bowl bold predictions. I hope. I'll see what happens. Let's do it. I have no idea if I'm gonna get this right or not. I like going crazy a little bit, but I mean, look at it this way. I think all of these scenarios aren't extremely crazy. but we'll see what happens. I said the same thing last year, but now looking back at that, holy shit, was I nuts. But let's try again. Bold prediction number 1. Hello, Bears. Hello, Jets. Two teams that are having a little bit of issues at quarterback, eh? Well, the Bears are going to trade their draft pick, whatever it is, to the Patriots to get Jimmy Garoppolo. He's going to be their quarterback. The Jets, meanwhile, are going to pick up a free agent by the name of Mike Lennon, who used to be the starting quarterback for the Bucks. He's currently with the Bucks, but as of the free agency deadline, he will no longer be with them. He'll be off and free to go to a team that might want him at starter. He played well, so he's got to end up with the Jets. And I'm going to say that the Bears and the Jets, with their newly found quarterbacks via free agency / trade, will both have winning records, and one of them will make the playoffs. Okay? I'm not going to say that they both make it. I'm going to say they both have winning records, and at least one of them will make the playoffs. Now, that's kind of crazy, considering where they're at. The Bears, I think, are a lot more complete right now than the Jets. So I guess if I had to pick any of them, it's going to be the Bears. But no, I'm going to leave it open-ended. I'm going to say it could be one of them will make the playoffs. And it has to be with those respective quarterbacks. If Mike Lennon goes somewhere else, it's over. It's over. You know, I mean, I'll make an exception here. Let's say Mike Lennon does not go to the Jets, and Jimmy Garoppolo still ends up with the Bears, and then the Bears end up going to the playoffs with Jimmy Garoppolo. Then I'll count the bet. But if Mike Lennon goes somewhere else, Jimmy Garoppolo ends up with the Bears, and then the Jets end up with a winning. Well, you know what? No, I'm making it too complicated. It's all or nothing. It has to be Jimmy Garoppolo. It has to be Mike Lennon, and they have to lead their teams to winning records, and one of them has to make the playoffs. If one of those things does not happen, the entire bold prediction is wrong. Okay, so sorry I was making it too complicated. Did not think it out, but that is it. Simple. All right, that's the first bold prediction. Bold prediction number 2. Every year, there has been a team that would go from worst to first. 2 years ago, it was the Redskins. This past year, it was the Cowboys. This time around, it's going to be the same freaking division. And it'll be the Philadelphia Eagles with Carson Wentz at the helm, a better defense, a better offense. And they're going to go from worst to first under Doug Peterson. You saw what they could do. They started out very well. They just could not finish the job. I think that they can pull off some nice wins in 2017 to go from worst to first. Even with Dak Prescott and Ezekiel Elliott playing very well. Even with the Giants defense. Even with the Redskins having been playing well down the stretch. All those guys had winning records last year except for the Eagles. This time around, the Eagles will get that winning record, have the best record in the division, go to the playoffs with the NFC East division title. Boom. All right. And here's bold prediction number 3. Super Bowl 52 will be a home Super Bowl game for the Vikings as they will play the Oakland Raiders in Minnesota for the Super Bowl 52 Super Bowl 52 title. Boom! That is an amazing defense against an amazing offense. They're going to get more amazing in the offseason. They're going to get better. Sam Bradford has played very well. And the Raiders' defense has gotten better. I don't want to just say it's offense versus defense because you got Sam Bradford, who's played very well last year and could play very well again. You have Raiders' defense that still has a star in Khalil Mack, the Defensive Player of the Year in this past year. You have Bruce Irvin, and you have a young secondary. You add more to that defense, and you get that offense healthy again. It could be dangerous. And the Vikings, they showed that they could play well down the stretch. They showed that they could play well in the beginning. They completely faltered down the stretch, but they'll be next year's Falcons, a team that started out 5-0 in 2015 and just completely faltered down the stretch to an 8-8 record. Vikings started 5-0 this year, went to 7-9. The Vikings will be in the Super Bowl next year, and the Raiders will be there to join them after the Raiders defeat the Patriots in the AFC Championship game. That's too much. Don't count that in the prediction. The Raiders will make the Super Bowl no matter who they play in the AFC Championship game. This is my prediction. Early season. Let's see how well this works out. Okay. Are we good? I think we're good. Guys. I forgot to change this. No more Super Bowl. You got just the NFL logo. Guys, thank you from the bottom of my heart for watching this series, enjoying the series. Unfortunately, I did not get as much interaction as I hoped I would get, but that's okay. I'm all good. I love doing this show. I'm going to keep on doing it. The next time you'll hear anything NFL out of me on this channel will be probably around the schedule announcement. Before the schedule announcement, I'll release a video with my schedule predictions. Maybe we'll do something about free agency. I think we are planning something for the draft. We did that last year. And you may see something else sports related on this channel. It's not definite, but maybe. We'll see what happens. But thank you guys so much for watching. It's been an unbelievable year, and I hope that 2017 brings bigger, better games, but I don't know how you top Super Bowl 51. I'll see you guys next time. Be good to one another. Be kind to one another. Bye-bye.